Abusia makwaba about POG Media. So now I'm here as it's nice to see the other say, oh my god, political stories in the and I so yensa etimia can I say a bonny bed at the baba somo a POG highway. No, so now any at the ball at the right and then sim na any and so at a chair a year way back a year the ex-president of Ghana, the former president, a year John Kuff0ur way back in 2028, 2008, sorry, about and also etimi we a year in term no na just say on also up to and as and also pay senka on also bet me extend a year and 4 years na just say on also etimi as a standing beam na just on also akako pray a year power beam na on the side issue we about the court and na just a court and so about to go year man am for di won komo such as kamia ko yes say ɛyɛ anibere nso ɛwɔ n'afa a ɔno nso ɛpɛ sɛ ɔgye akonnwa no ɛde tare ne ase na wei na yɛwura John Dramani Mahama deɛ yi nso ɛbaeɛ a n'akyɛ sɛ ɛno nso kɔyɛ rumor a ɛyɛ yɛwura John Dramani Mahama no aba out ɛbɛ clear sɛ ɔntumi ɛnrane for a third term no yɛwura ɛyɛ John Agyekum Kuff0ur nso ɛtumi ɛde ɛyɛ nsɛm bi a bɛto dwa ɛfa ho a n'akyɛ sɛ ɔno nso ɛkyerɛ sɛ nka Ira John Dramani Mahama timi rane for a third term a kano so betimi aboa my Ghana na chese timi so afa yontoma pa e de fra abusu am eze bejebre ni abo e de rasa story mi dase
NDC for be pushy President Mahama Nakwa Kutu Ejim. And knowing the kind of person President Mahama is, no, senire finu hua, sen krofona one in China person omo dada no ma President Mahama re finu hua. We are here to remind the president. Say the Ghana Constitution it no a year 4 years, a year 4 years. Obi any one of my oko 8 years. A 4 years, 4 years are unya mienu. You can get 2 consecutive terms. 2 consecutive terms. Na unya sa term ni we na woko na wasamba ana unya 1 in the case of President Mahama unya 4 years. And na wako na wasamba. It cannot transmogrify itself into another 2 terms. That is the issue as Ken Crunchy. Yemba na baso MPP time. Ken Crunchy lawyer or the case no call cotton for dinner terms and MPP for na sponsor Ken Crunchy. And no pushy agenda they say obi intra so meanwhile Ken Crunchy or call court is question was very specific because at the time now President Mahama ye candidate Mahama. And there was a very high likelihood that President Mahama bet me win the elections. So the issue was Ken Crunchy lawyer Ken Crunchy the 2 court in any was for the courts to explain a friend saying was for court to interpret constitution. They say 2 terms na Ghana constitution na Rollins GJ 1992 constitution can you know. 2 terms about 1 term 4 years, another 4 years, and I say so being 4 years. Na say ebetwem and from abefaso. Now it's 8 years is truncated in the case of President Mahama. There were 8 years now to us. Atamils 4 years now Tamils and a President Mahama bet was 2 years. And on 1 term 4 years. And a 4 years and to the young sound to a man 2016. They say it's a President Mahama we near. Can President Mahama get his fresh 8 years, fresh 2 terms? Are we entitled to contest elections? And I say because when you're 4 years that I'm from Abefaso and son only 4 years nitino a kabum and also betimenya. This is the issue that Ken Crunchy took before court. But because Ken Crunchy this case we call court during the days of MPP Timu Dinatem blue, black, red, gold, green style baby. Mo say Asamba back to square one. Let me take you to Asama Shamima Muslim. Shamima Muslim NDC new. Or yeah, you want office of the president now. Abrantie we me finish din kuma with Abrantie and started our conversation no. Na ba do we now people are pushing President Mahama say be ya. Omo say our committee omo your constitutional amendment that taking from baby President Mills. Okay, so omo your constitutional review now when we now President Mills who call you know. Okay, President Mills Mahama by one of the things that he's done they say that same committee no we reconstituted committee no. And also omunya adwuma. People are pushing this amendment onto the committee because and can say the Ghana constitution it no. To me sorry keke. Say we kwa change the constitution even with the NDC super majority no more parliament no. There are some near maybe a additional constitution in the wisdom of President Mahama ni penifo no mo ye President Rollins impoa. President Rollins ni omo constitute the friend consultative assembly. omo no mo chichire Ghana constitution omo ye ne say eniem bi wo constitution ma yenye entrenched untumi nsore keke nkosesa it is America for constitution see because Ghana no ye fa ye see ekosua kakra from UK ekosua kakra from America na America for oniem bi you cannot just change it it is the Donald Trump be or see birthright citizenship will change and obi a be wo no America bia no e ji se ne maame ye America for masa for asem call because France enko omo nana no omo no mo chichire the American constitution ni di shemu enti the same answer no na Ghana for any President Rollins ni mpanifo no omo ye consultative assembly no omo ye constitution no e di shemu say yamfa niema bi nche constitution ma nyese president bia ba na obe change because omo ni African leaders e bia ne the Cameroon president we di 90 ho say change na ono kwa na wanyansa Côte d'Ivoire, omo president Ibetina Konya, so still already 80 something, was still on no one answer. In fact, the same way the entire me so passionate about it and say, President Kuff0ur, yes, or to know, all kono 2008, ya to a beria 2008, abanoko ya copy a time because how we are branching now 2008 elections, it was so bloody say, ya to abandon first round, ya to the second round, no crowns so assemble. Emma about one young time elections and until they had to go back. Tell time to go and recount about almost 2 more time constituency. And President Kuff0ur lose no kono kase 4 years and so obia because President Oba ebiani President Mahama they won't say 24-hour economy fancy President Mahama by what is what can one say there be because President Mahama so or appointed deputy ministers. Oh yeah, I find a public institutions thing now. All Baba appointed CEOs. And some of Baba appointed deputy CEOs. And some of Baba appointed a first board. And sometimes we crowd some constitute other bodies near the fancy and now Baba Tinakonya to the Bogo say useless to be near President Kuff0ur no can say a bear 4 years then so. Ono na drink chirane say omunya ne 5 years and now pobi adachi bi omunya ne 7 years but he specifically mentioned say and komunya ne 5 years so that 1 year na that's no dey o de be grouping or buying constituting your government appointing people ni ade na 4 years na nka no wetimi focus on money developmental agenda mo ye no blue black red gold green bi why because President Kuff0ur why because President Kuff0ur because at the time I'm say oya kani and now before no the President Kuff0ur so because it was flowing from a conversation President Rollins in 1992-96 not so much about 92 but 96 and 2000 elections because President Kuff0ur babe two Rollins and the campaign was obvious say baby do no area President Kuff0ur be winning almost kosine akonya foforo okumase akonya de wunya those were the kind of it was the political talk, just jabbing of President Kuff0ur. And the President Kuff0ur ko bo ni omusio a okoka say enye onu on the okọ atamos neighbor. Nebom moma yenye no 5 years mudi natem. Enne NDC for Kuff0ur for Shamima Muslim key NDC people are now calling say yensisano. Afemu hu den. Mami fanko anu mami ni aba Shamima Muslim. Afe dia Shamima say possible Mahama third term and a proposed constitutional 6 years single term limit. So let's stick to what the constitution said. So and because Shamima Muslims I say mobi ko kan na now there MPP time na no ho ya and ya Kuff0ur MPP asem na make I'm saying nana do MPP times and nana do ko bon hu musio kan say when kam ya so think e be hye ni ma fie o nyina kom be hye no on be hye no ne ho hinti but enne yeah, can the same thing for President Mahama. And the question I woman Shamima, so what changed? Because President Kuff0ur had been children by any editumu. And there's wisdom in the President Kuff0ur canon. Because there is no way in hell. Some bunsam cry or so are clever. Ukofa bunsam cry man itself 4 years on the to Mr. Sano. It's not enough. And the kind of politics, especially Ghana. Yeah, your politics now you're so divisive. The politics now your winner takes all. It will be bad. I was saying the party for satisfy me now. Because see, the problem with politicians is recurring. Say see President Mahama buy any 1 year. Koshe NDC TikTokers. Omu di Sam George atem. Omu di President Mahama atem. And I won't change and I'm on my be. Winner takes all. This is what is happening. And think President Kuff0ur the assembly buy no why you openia or dear matemante or penny or shako kind. Now on him so what na so 4 years and so it from his experience. He's not even saying selfish. Say or no till on there also on Kuff0ur. Name matamansi a obey. Mama yen sakani matamos more time. Sanya tamos cry na obi obedi na chibi obebe ye man time. Oh yes see. A ponchisi or ye ni down no nim so no one ready no say no. Mudi President Kuff0ur na mo fo say President Kuff0ur be presidency na kosi kumase. Na mo dwen ye mo say President Kuff0ur be presidency na konifie e wo ye first airport. Na mo nim say President Kuff0ur be presidency na kwakotena ni fie e wo he aburi. Enti enye na ye di President Kuff0ur tem today. Ye nyina ye hu say President Mahama 24-hour economy enye possible say 4 years obetimi aye ni nyina. Enye possible. It's difficult. Ding say obewie ni nyina 4 years. Ding. Because big push no konye. And to kite on maso, there are so many things say major issues are. President Mahama peso ye, but share the modia fano. Ain't ye coming go? Sa single term no cry me feel it. Ya na ya kwa peke America for concept. In ye say, ye be 2 terms. And you go no single term. So obia ba ye be man 1 term. It's not even feasible. Because usually nipa ne ba the first term no or ye mistake ba ku mienu bi and the second term no or try to correct some things. E bi na ye catch na nado e hono na nado antie. Say enka first term what for ministers so ne ade a unim semfum so we na wa ye e bi a ye friend the kind of for yat anko for penasem papa into o second term you correct your errors. Akona President Kuff0ur e ye mistake no. But to say yenye constitutional amendments na very ye limit no. Ni just 1 single term. I disagree. But even me cry the main put the media and say a dear number NDC. A dear number presidency one person who push President Mama say chinchinia. On President Mama no to on cancel petetem. On sumamo sell petetem. A conversation when you can take that President Mama not when he was in opposition. Or opposition one can that so petetem. Or
Sound like you media, make sure over drop or like na so subscribe you to a POG political media there. And will go council over drop subscription. Now I share no for so answer so it's me a catch media even on so the echo and the air bar POG there about Ghana authentic political headlines any update there internet the entire yeah a POG media so and I also submit me a cabin one who the echo and the air bar na and some man just say a year. Film lady edit to Jana say or also can would be out a year in case they are John Dramani Mahama and so it's me call for a third tema and also bet me a 9 so on allegiance dinner and so the MPP side or those say out MA and clearly so also tie MPP chino and also 18 way out ye pa
power so one can that so petetem on kind. Sanso President Mahama na dey say we mo so omo ko test waters no. No one share how the public react to any backfire because nobody will accept it. Mr. Ken Crunchy, lawyer Ken Crunchy, the same way court moody na tem. President Kuff0ur pay mu no akasa the suggestion adwenkyere opani nyansafo who say me tia konya so 8 years yanso me o mentumi anya ne ma wo se me de ye. Enti no moma ye ma nipa obeba wo machi no more term no watumi anya abotre as settle in his government. Watumi anya abotre a planning the policy. Watumi anya abotre implementing the policy. Mo se de bi da. Aburo ni beye utu aduboni e bi kan wano na bi nie. Afei mo problem ama pa ma President Mahama. And Casabre, and be a 5 years, since President Mahama win over 10 years than any. And can be push you 24-hour economy, and go on kitchen kitty, whether at any grassroots policy or a macroeconomic policy, and can we be able to manage it 5 years a year, at least with the first year, no appoint to call for you, 4 years now, can you be able to enforce things? Be any Even cases in Crom the Cocotti, any Addo for Yata, the any one day, and the first year, no, Attorney General would have at least when you're in handling all those issues. Now, 4 years now, Attorney General to me focusing on giving the president a legal framework or the 24-hour economy, a legal framework where governmental policy will hinge on, at least to sit on. But wait, 4 years in now, I'm here. Age the back of a chairman so then go for court sana. And can Julian KG Sonia, assume young also nya, no dinya law, I bet boy shapey President Mahama 24-hour economy. No to me. What some yet 4 years now. This is what President Kuff0ur was talking about. You have President Kuff0ur born commando. Shamima, before you come, you will have the moral right to even talk. But President Kuff0ur you born commando. Moody na temsta BAB. And I'm not saying that Shamima as a person, but like I'm saying, say NDC4 in opposition, they insulted president. You see, I said no be can. Now what Jenny brain on to mean comprehend the idea and don't be quick to insult the person because you never know what you say. President Kuff0ur can say in Rollins time cry he had accused him say about nipados obetina konya so say the size of government is the size of betina bontia criticizes the size of government so President Kuff0ur in his own wisdom to say yes he was wrong. He accepted into more NDC before you have the moral right and the moral audacity to even comment on President say whether or not you say no more apologizing for 10 year moody President Kuff0ur. Then you can come and sit down and have a conversation like that. Now you from a presidential constitutional review committee, no. So but I think say in the spirit of fair dealing, NDC should not be talking about this conversation right now. I was say President Mahama call. Maybe later the Obebano, then Nipano has not been part of your social political discussion. No? Then we can do that. But what's here, Konyaso? I wanna what pushing this constitutional review commission no, into being no. When you kokase omunye an amendment that and even if you follow the normal constitutional procedure, which is that before a system constitution, I can say president term ni bin kan or term no. Yenye a friend saying yenye referendum because that's the only way you bet me a constitution no. Say by referendum, what to me is constitution in my president Mahama another term. And yeah, with super majority, I think you didn't want to that's the reason why first no push NDC or super majority no they can change constitution. Which constitution? Which kind of constitution? Ghana constitution and that's a Hawaiian constitution. It's not Ghana's constitution because Ghana constitution they ain't French clause no to mean now demo and for super majority or parliament no mesesano. We don't do it like that. It's not like that. It's not as simple as that. Ain't your chinebi so be the adin chinebi banawa dream no one man. We should not be quick to condemn the people. You see, now to show you somewhere I make and some let me take you to what President Kuff0ur said. Because it's very true. And because I was there, I was a journalist when some of these things were happening. What you say? And it's a President Kuff0ur can. Odika pa those days. No, Moka. No, Maka no say hey. Or no, he was pushing, including story of VOA for a publisher. Let me take you back to some VOA story and then a Ghana web story. No, and this is President Kuff0ur. He said it. Or no, me say penny the so dear matemante, pay ukoni at penny can someone. Now I hear no, or China, the end of the President Kuff0ur can no, I hear no. But we all were so gullible, say, President Kuff0ur. Or person tina konwa so and ya man crofo kwan ma wo poison ya dwen against some particular people you know that's what we all thought. Let me take you to asem na a year first saying President Kuff0ur can let me remove this, take you back to the story, and this is it. Ghana's president suggests extending tenure of office for future leaders. And this is even what President Kuff0ur future leaders one can say or see future then leaders. Future leaders. This is VOA story. I say the Ghana's outgoing president John Kuff0ur, who steps down on Wednesday's test, and this is a story from this is from 2009 when President Kuff0ur lost elections. 2009, where losing elections are all coffee. And the VOA I say Ghana's outgoing president John Kuff0ur, who steps down on Wednesday, says future heads of state should have their tenure of their terms extended to 5 years in office instead of the current 4. In its final State of the Nation address, listen to it. President Kuff0ur, Oh, Nyankopon shira baby a obi enti na wote ase na obetena ase akodi 100 and beyond. Or see in his final state of the nation address, President Kuff0ur said, or kind of one pocket. I said, my memory was a little faded. It's I thought that I know the President Mills, Ekoto, Jubilee House, you know, and I know Kasi, but in his state of the nation address, this is a public record in Parliament. Or see in his final state of the nation address, President Kuff0ur said Parliament should consider extending the term of Ghana's president to 5 years to give that person what he calls reasonable room for the newly elected leader to settle into his job. And they quote President Kuff0ur for the president of a struggling developing nation with weak institutions. Perhaps in this case of Ghana, a 5-year term, renewable ones, will create the needed space for making a better impact, President Kuff0ur. And this is almighty President Kuff0ur, no. Or see a better new president, no, but room. There be a see and say that. President Kuff0ur is selfish. Nani bradie, or pa konyanedi. So on say na atemkro na abetwetwe President Mahama bo. Afa na Shamima money other people ka say they need more a year for President Kuff0ur. What up President Mahama? Ka President Kuff0ur kan na mo say ase na mo say piano. Na de opra de akọ Ghana, akọboa Ghana ye no. Ona ye boa no. Enti de President Kuff0ur kan ye to asemu. Yemfa nya adwuma na da achi bi yemfa so beba so ama President Mahama. But aburo ni bewie na mo ka say mo ye a President Kuff0ur. So on say atemkro na asan ba beto mo. We'll be going into other issues. So, but let me just quickly read this other story too. This is also a Ghana web. Okay, this is Modern Ghana. So, former President Kuff0ur has reiterated his call for Ghana to increase her presidential tenure of office from the present 4 years to 5 years with 2 terms. President Kuff0ur in his last sectional address, again, the same State of the Nation address na President Kuff0ur can you know, and President Kuff0ur mu quoting no. Enti nyansa de obi see at the wo yemfa asase so nyansa na President Kuff0ur de adwuma. This is it. And he de adwuma. So all those who are pushing President Mahama sechenchene 4 years, stop pushing him. Stop pushing him because President Mahama na nkata kron kan kire mo say opeyedi. Stop pushing him. Nti we emfa sa agenda we emfa because enkofo asheda drop hint 1 said e be ya last minute na e be ya agenda emfa. Agenda we enya dia ebefa. Oti asenti munya kana President Mahama nankasa onkan kire mo say opetetem. President Mahama nankasa nka say opetetem bia say ni focus any 24-hour economy no. So obetimi deliver 24-hour economy no. No aye aduma ni ye. Said e ba obetimi akonanim. Na mfa so esumi etumi abaso. Oti ase ha. Inti no. So let's go to other issues. And also drop it. Any other, for instance, calling that the issue. No, can of that issue. There's some catch him that say special prosecutor can watch it. It is now also what to me. I near ma or more qua any onion in tem. What to me are there charges also the to me be womb the charges no because what send Manasseh no many other people are talking about just say SML contract now ebi womb. We look at all those issues because just say and some Ghana and some power Ghana and then person when you join it. Now some of them views aba because Ghana no at the end and a year because kind of for that now read the charge because and lawyer Richard Aban to be join here to explain some of these issues because and some no doors what or not a year first saying attorney general bet me prosecute issue no obet me nya ni nyina ho fa so because they pay any waste of money but you see it still remains double standard say attorney general all cases here NBC cases here involving even corruption no what jai what filing only prosecute name of MPP 4 cases here involving corruption no they all prosecute any double standard. This is a very good question for President for attorney general. You must explain attorney general this is a question that actually you must explain to the people.
But I say, so come when I bought Addo Media, say POG Media, the Ghana authentic political update and headlines happen now. So bet me a cabin now who the echo and the air by the coachy, the core brand in a POG highway super and now so bet me a cabin. The message so subscribe here any day so I drop a subscription. Now I share enough for so answer so at me a cabin me so slide into the comment section or now so wait me adding como at the far age medium. But I see so Jebre at the POG. You ever say share.